All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to These Divinity, These Divine Tarot. Thank you for joining in with me today. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome back to all the former subscribers and welcome to all the new subscribers. Once again, thank you all for joining in with me today. As you see from the title of the video, we're going to go ahead and jump into this beautiful Moonology series. And if you're wanting the episode number, you'll have to check the title, y'all. Long since forgot or lost count. Before we do jump into this, y'all, it should go without saying, please do check the description box for any information that you may want or need to know. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know. As it states in the description box, these readings are intended to be timeless. Time and energy are fluid, meaning you could have already gone through this, you may currently be going through this, and or this may be a prophetic message to come if you decide to embrace and embody the energy or advice this spirit has for you, okay? Now, they are also general, so it may not even resonate or apply to you. Just keep that in mind. I may not be talking to you nor about you. I may be talking to or about someone to whom you're closely connected, friend, family, or foe. I do not know. Only you know your life, so use your free will and discernment. You will never be led astray, all right? Speaking of time, I just said it's irrelevant, essentially. However, I know that when I do call out date, signs, and or time, I'm using the Eastern Standard Time, and I'm only using time if you will, because of how it falls in the calendar system, and just to keep some kind of order or chronology for you to keep up with the series. All right. But again, it really doesn't matter. It could have played out already, as I already said, or it could be a prophetic message to come. So, and then depending upon when you see it, it could currently be happening in your life or whatever, so just please keep that in mind. And then you do your due diligence if you really want to know your specific time zone, depending upon where you are in the world, okay? Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, whatever is going on, I can't help what's going on in the background, so just disregard. Try to keep and stay focused on my voice and the messages therein. All right. So I also do not subscribe to gender roles as far as male, female, but I will say he, she in reference to masculine and or feminine energy. Just depends. We all have them both within us, so it truly doesn't matter either way. So don't take it to heart. All right. And then I'm also big on numerology, whether or not I call it out, but if and when I do, I intend for it to possibly resonate with your life path number, the day or month you're born, maybe even the house you want to pay particular attention to, and the energy they're in, okay? Same difference when I call out signs, by the way. Pay attention. You may want to pay attention if you are interested in seeing how this may affect you. Look at your natal chart and see which house that sign, whatever sign I call out, you know what I mean, where that energy is transiting through in your natal chart. All right. And that may help you to see where maybe you need to focus on, especially if I call out, numerology as far as the house number and the sign, you know what I mean? High vibe time. Anyways, at this point, you will likely see the primary decks that we are utilizing throughout the series, which serve as your header and or finisher. The Moonology Oracle is your finisher, and the Queen of the Moon is the Moonology Oracle is your header, and the Queen of the Moon is your finisher. The header will be the overall energy or advice pertaining to the reading, okay? And then the finisher will be guidance, advice, energy to look forward to grow on, whatever, what have you. All right. The variable, which may or may not change, this month I did decide to utilize the the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot, but next month, and I know last month it was different, next month it may be different too, right? So this will be the variable throughout this series, but for this month I kept it consistent with this 8 Coin Tattoo Tarot, and this just is intended to clarify, dive a little bit deeper behind the scenes, if you will, to see what the overall header and energy, what it has to do with potentially, okay? And I also added a couple of extra oracle decks, if you will, just to clarify or get more information as far as maybe the crystals. And because as you'll see, the finisher, the Queen of the Moon, it has companion stones, metals, and crystals that you may want to utilize to help you get through this energy or heal. You know what I mean? So if they are in these two are a combo deck that I've mixed together, same author as you see. And then the Crystal Mandala is another one. So sometimes I'm able to find them in the mixture deck, sometimes not. So, and vice versa with the Crystal Mandala. So, you know, we just see what we come up with, right? Or something close to it. I think that is all that I needed to say. I'm sure I forgot something. If I did, when the time comes, it'll come out. All right. Let's get a quick word of prayer before we just dive into this, shall we? To the Most High, heavenly and divine, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, I come to you saying thank you. Thank you so very much for this beautiful day. Thank you for the rain that helped us wash away with this full moon energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I pray that whoever is meant to see it, hear it, receive it, that it is for the utmost good, that it helps to protect, nourish, nurture, heal, strengthen, enlighten, of course, help guide the way. Thank you for using me as a clear and open channel to bring forth these messages to the collective. Straight no chaser, clear no chaser. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for the voice, for the tongue, for the energy, for the insight, for the clarity, for the peace of mind. Just thank you so very, very much. I pray, of course, that the message, as I mentioned, just uplifts and brings forth the healing that is needed. I pray that it plays out for the highest good of any and all involved. And for this and all other blessings, I come, ask, and give thanks. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Alrighty, you guys. So let me go ahead and dive into a little bit of background information here. So we are coming off of the full moon energy. And it's funny because at the time of filming, we are currently in the full moon energy of no, excuse me, why do I keep saying that? It's something about that full moon in Leo Virgo. But now we are in the energy of the full moon energy of Virgo Libra. Because I kept saying it even in the last month, see? Last week's full moon video. I kept saying, like, going back to the Leo Virgo full moon. I don't know, man. It's something, some major transition or something big has happened in your life, I feel, on either of these full moons. Check it, okay? Now, I know for this video, we are going to be focused on the last quarter moon, which will be in the sign of Pisces, which is perfect. We're going to get into it in a minute, but I just wanted to recap really quickly for those of you in case you missed last episode, which I highly recommend you go back and listen, because I'm telling you some valuable information always. But anyway, as I was trying to say, we are coming off of the full moon energy, which was in, and look, I'm not even in the, excuse me, look at here. That's powerful. I'm all in the wrong month, y'all. Oh my God. Let me see. Hold on now. So disregard what I just said. We're going to be focused on the last quarter moon in the sign of AQUA. But for me to see, look, that's what I needed to say in a disclaimer. I'll be telling y'all, anytime I have slippages of the tongue or like something comes out, in, I want to say mistakenly, but it's never a mistake. You understand? Like it's on purpose. So something major may be occurring for you next month. Well, depending on when you see this, I will just say the last quarter moon in Pisces, which occurs on the 22nd of May. Okay. And depending on when you see this, and it's not even technically at the time of filming, it's not even next month from the time of filming. It's just probably from when this will be posted. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's why I wanted to give you the date. But it really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to give you a time frame. So especially if you journal, look back if you catch this after, after this time. look back and see what was going on in your life the last quarter moon. Like I said, the 22nd, which is powerful because that's a whole ascended master number, right? That's master teachers. What I'm a master, sensei. That's what I'm hearing, sensei. Like I'm seeing what's his name? What's his name? The Ninja Turtles. What was his name? Oh my gosh, what was his name? I want to say Shredder, but that's the enemy. What was his name? And then I'm hearing Mr. Miyagi. Anyway, whatever. But that's master teacher, right? Ascended master type vibes and energy. So I do feel something major occurring at that time too. Because the funny thing is, I just went and pulled the cards for next month's, well, the Moonology series to come in May, and that was some major energy. There was a lot going on, like a whole lot of, you'll see when we get there. I don't know. So anyway, back to what we're supposed to be focused on in this video is the last quarter moon in AQUA, which is gonna be on the 23rd, not too far off, right? And AQUA, it will be at 2:17, by the way. Okay, and again, that's Eastern Standard Time, and that's AM. So it affects the calf. This is AQUA energy, Aquarius energy. Affects the calf, ankle, shin, and Achilles. Okay, and as I was saying, we are coming off of, and look, see, I was still messing it up because we're coming off of the full moon energy of Libra, Scorpio. And I was trying to say Virgo, Libra, right? That's the full moon currently that we're in, if you will, at the time of filming. But either one of those, like I said, Leo, Virgo, Virgo, Libra, and Libra, Scorpio. And something heavy with this Libran energy, for sure. Okay? And again, that full moon, it's high vibe time at 14:54, which is, excuse me, I say 3. It's 2:54 p.m. However, it transitions into the sign of Scorpio at 2023, which is 8:23 p.m. Okay? And that's on the 16th. All of this is occurring on the 16th. But as I mentioned, and this is another reason why I say time is really, it's irrelevant. The full moon and new moon energies may be felt a week or two before and or after, at least about a week or so. Okay? So that's why we kind of give a 2-week, what I call grace period, where you may be feeling this. You know what I mean? Whatever this is, whatever the energy of the moon is, and particularly the sign energy. So that's why I give areas of the body that it affects, because you may be feeling sensations and vibrations and you know what I'm saying, within any of these areas that I've mentioned. So with that being said, so Libra affects the kidney, ureter, bladder, veins, and skin. Okay. Scorpio affects the genitals, anus, urethra, and prostate. And then AQUA affects, as I already said, the calf, ankle, shin, and Achilles. Okay. Obviously, during that week, even though I said you may feel the vibe of the full moon, you know, a week before and or after, it still transitions through the signs of Sage and Cappy to get to AQUA, right? And I feel the need to tell you this. Sage affects the liver, hips, thighs, and sacrum, and Cappy affects the backbone, joints, knees, skin, and hair. And you got some overlap, right? Especially what? The skin? Yeah. And feel like some mental, you know, like downloads, tingling sensations, throbbing even around your crown, like the sacral chakra, for instance, with the sacrum and maybe your hips. You know, that's getting more towards the root, but still, there's still overlap. It's basically what I'm saying, okay, or what I'm trying to get to. All right, but moving into the focus of today's video, as far as the last quarter moon in AQUA, and again, Aquarian energy is essentially the overall healing. It's the star, right? But it can be primarily focused on those areas if you so choose, if that's where you choose to focalize. Focus and localize is what I was trying to say. This vibe or this energy or whatever, you know, however you choose to use it. and or it can be just an overall healing. Okay. However, and then of course Aquarius too, like Libra, is a air sign. So, you know, again, that's that mental energy as well as communication potentially. Okay. All right. I think that's all I really need to say about that. Let's get on into the cards, shall we? All right. So beginning with your header here, we have it's time to take action. New moon in Aries, and nothing will come of this situation. Void of course moon. That's funny because at first I'm like, well, isn't that a contradiction, right? But I feel like they're telling you to move out of whatever you may have been stubbornly, because I feel somebody like ramming literally in the Aries, the ram energy, like butting their head. Again, I'm almost even seeing the Two of Wands in the, what deck is that? I want to say it's the Golden Wheel Tarot. But anyway, like you ramming your head against the wall, against your own self, like your shadow self. You know what I'm saying? Like you stubbornly trying to push forward and do, I don't know, with this person, in this relationship, with this endeavor, especially with this Aries energy. It could be a business, you know, opportunity or job opportunity or something like that. But it's like you trying to push so hard, but it's like, no, that's, you know, this door shutting, that door shutting. You know, it's like nothing is working out. And it's time for you to get a clue, is what they said, excuse me. But I mean, that's what it is. And it's like, no, baby, like, stop, think about it, change directions, do something different, something new, especially with this new moon energy. And I feel like that's what they're telling you to do. Just like in that when you go from the Two of Wands to the Three of Wands, like you make a plan and go and move on it. You know what I mean? Take action on it. I will read from these at the end, okay? Some of you may be dealing with an Aries, for sure. And I don't know, they may be stubborn with it. You know what I mean? I just heard short spurts. Y'all know Aries, well, if you don't know Aries energy, you know, that can be kind of a quick burst, but it doesn't really last. Oh gosh. I gotta say it though. Somebody, whether it's this Aries in your life or not, whoever this is you're dealing with, somebody is like, yeah, no, like it's time for you. You ready to move on to the next one because they just don't do it for you sexually. And I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible, but it is what it is. Some they quick nut and it's gone and it's over, and it's like, yeah, no. Anyway, moving on out of that. Going to the bottom of the deck here. I feel like for most of y'all, it's more of of what you do for work, business, and or side hustle. And it's time to really blossom. Like really, whatever you have been doing, that ain't it. Okay? Because it clearly, they're telling you right here, nothing will come of the situation. And it doesn't necessarily mean, you take it how it resonates in your life, but it doesn't necessarily mean the end goal of what you're trying to do is not it. It just may be the way you're going about it. You understand what I'm saying? So check it. For some of y'all, it may be the end, like whatever you done set your mind and heart on, it ain't for you. You know what I mean? So it's time to find another goal. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. And this is beautiful because look at here. This is the full moon in Aquarius, but it's still that aqua energy, right? Okay. Something needs to heal in this situation. Maybe it's just you. I don't know. Something though. Something for sure. And I'm hearing, I think this came up last episode. Sexual healing. Sexual healing, baby. Look, it says you deserve some sunshine and a latte. That's what just popped up on my on my alert. I don't know who that's for. That's funny. All right, moving into the tarot. See here? It's time for you to move on, baby. move to calmer waters, move to something more stable and peaceful, where you don't gotta argue, fuss, and fight, where you don't gotta, cause even if they are, I'm hearing, even if they do bring you that sexual healing, or they are, you know what I'm saying, well versed in the bedroom, it ain't worth it if you, like I said, because for whoever that is, always arguing, fussing, and fighting. You know what I mean? Like, nah. And I see the funny thing is, like, the way that these swords are set up right here on the dock is like somebody may have been, once have been indecisive with these, because I'm looking at these two swords crisscross right here, that y'all finally made the decision to unhook yourself. That's what they said, is from this situation. And, you know, it could have been even past heartbreak right here with them, the three that's still standing. Like, and you finally cut yourself loose. I don't know. With the sword of truth is what I'm hearing. You probably told whoever this is how it is. Like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm moving on. Gotta go. You know what I mean? But somebody going on. I'm proud of you. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. This may also be that aqua energy, you know what I mean? The time of, with this, I'm gonna say full moon, with this, last quarter moon, you know, when you decide to make your move, whoever this is, it could be any other air sign that you're dealing with, as far as Gemini or Libra. Okay. Let's see what the bottom of, yeah. Yep. With this doggone Seven of Swords as the overall underall energy, like, no. Doggone Seven of Swords is just, I can't help but get that sneaky conniving. It's like wolves in sheep clothing, right? But it's like homegirl made, whoever this is, okay? Sis felt like she had to put on this mask, you know, be the wolf for whatever reason. I'm feeling more so because of, as a protective mechanism, right? And look behind her though. And that's where she pointed arrow on her arm is pointing back behind her. Not necessarily to the source on her back, but I'm looking more so in the past, like in the distant past, to them two of swords again. Somebody, like I told you at the bottom of the header, the full moon in Aquarius. So you may be dealing with an Aquarian here, or it's just talking about this season, or the, you know what I'm saying, the time of year, whatever, or this moon cycle, right? Whatever. However, what I'm getting to is that whoever is walking away, moving away, going to their peaceful state of mind, it's like no more of this. And this can very well just be self-deceptive energy here. Okay, shoot any and everything that is not for you. You know what I'm saying? Cutting right through the bullshit, seeing things for who and what they truly are, and letting them be, but you moving on prayerfully. Okay. And look, she got that one sword that I said y'all use to set yourself free. This, whoever this is, y'all feel, I pray is you, I don't know, is moving on, like moving future forward. So you got now, and I pray you moving towards that healing, because look at this, with the 3 out of the pack that's on her back, she's left with 4. And y'all know the 4 swords is all about that balancing Libra to me energy of healing, especially mentally, right? Oh wait, that is powerful. Because I do feel like many of you is just being like this self-deception, like I said, essentially. So if there are things about, especially if the person is close to you, you know what I'm saying, they're reflecting you, and if you don't like it, that's showing you things that you may need to work on and heal, right? Move away from, cut out, release, especially with that full moon. Okay. All right. I think that's all we got right there. Don't look back either. It's because it's like the arrow is pointing. Some of y'all probably are tempted to want to go back to something or someone in the past, but it's like, nah, No, not if that's them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if it, no, just know that like they said in the header, nothing will come of this situation. All right. So ain't no point in going back. You done tried it already. Haven't you learned your lesson? If not, man, it's gonna be such a rude awakening. You ain't gonna like it the next time around. You really ain't gonna like it. Anyway, moving on. All right, let's get through these real quick. Moving on to your finishers here. You got several, y'all. Several. And look how they line up. You got to have the will to want to move to take action. You got action twice. Don't forget, you got it in the header, and it's the center here. Because look, we got the 13 being a 4, potentially. You have the potential to stabilize yourself. That 13 also talks about going through that transformation, doing what you need to do. That's the scorpionic energy, right? That's the death process, if you will. Allowing something to be dead and gone, release it, like I said, in order for you to rest and recover and get ready for your rebirth. All right? Constantly growing. But it's going to take for you to move, especially in that 5 energy. You got to have the courage is what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? The strong will and determination to do what you need to do to move forward, to take care of yourself, to love yourself, to heal yourself. Again, with this self-love at the end in that 6 yet again, which is all about love, harmony, peace, stability, balance. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said for many of you, it's really just you and you. You and your shadow self dealing with that. Right? Especially with that, when I said that being self-deceptive in that, the tarot, the 6 and 7 of swords, well, mainly the 7 of swords, right? But I do feel like it's just, again, just you and you alone coming into alignment within yourself, dealing with your own inner demons, knowing that when you do, it will be displayed in your 3D. That's why I be trying to tell. That's why I was trying to say I keep getting interrupted because, you know, we got passersby keep coming back and forth. Homeboy just sat there and he really had to come up here to smoke his cigarette of all places. Like, why? Whatever. But you know, but it's just, it's like when people show you basically take it for what it is and do what you need to do. Again, the things you don't like, release it. You ain't got to claim it's probably not even you necessarily. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff that maybe you have, because I told you, I feel like whoever is truly vibing with that 7 of Swords energy, it was a protective mechanism. So, like you learned that, you know what I'm saying? You adapted to that behavior because of maybe your environment or whatever. But now I'm hearing victim mentality. Now it's time to get up out of that. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like there's a major, with all this air energy, there's a major potential for healing mentally, especially, you know? Anyway, so, I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, that's what I feel. Love yourself first anyway, so that you don't settle for nothing less. You know what I mean? Whether it's a person or job or whatever else outside of you. So look, I'm being called to pay attention to these cycles of these cards. The wheel is waxing gibbous 4, which is, let me see, hold on. The sign of Virgo. And Virgo affects the pancreas, small intestine, GI tract, okay? And then waxing gibbous. And by the way, that's on the, oh my God, it's on the 13th, y'all. It's on the 13th of April, and I don't know when this video will be posted, but if it's already passed, look back at that time, okay? And then let's see, then waxing gibbous 6. Oh my God, is in the sign of Libra on the 15th, which is the action card. I can't make this shit up. I cannot. And then waxing crescent 4. Let's see. Waxing crescent 4 is on the 5th, okay, of April in the sign of Gemini. All right. And Gemini, did I tell you who Libra? Well, I already told you who Libra affects, but Gemini affects the shoulders, arms, hands, bronchial tubes, and lungs. Okay. All this air energy. It's powerful, y'all. That may be what you need to focus on, healing. See where all of the air signs are transiting in your natal chart if you are interested. And again, any of these numbers that I've already mentioned and, you know, that are here, whatever you're drawn to, that's what I would check. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we got at the bottom of the deck here. Look, you're going to have to go into that. This darkness is almost, not even almost. I get that, like that void. Oh, we did get the void, of course, moon, right? This is like the void to me. And then I also, it's like going into that new moon energy. It's like the vibe or the space of the in-between and like going into the unknown. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if that's making sense at all, but it's like, it's the in-between. It's like that period once you rest and release, or recovering, excuse me, after you've released, once you're resting and recovering to bring forth whatever is meant for you. It's almost like that, because I just heard stuckness, but it's not necessarily like you're stuck, because you're never that, right? You can always get yourself out of whatever is you're meant to get out of. But it's just that place of healing. But then for some of you, you've already done this, and you have, like, it's time to get yourself out of that. Some of y'all done went away. Whatever that card said at the bottom of the header, right? So I feel like for those of you who have done the healing work, now it's time for you to come on out of your shell, right? Come on out. Be seen in the world, right? You've done the self-love healing and all that stuff. Now it's time to show the world the new and improved you. It's time to be born, basically. I'm telling y'all, that rebirth. So, and look at here, this darkness is that 40, right? That stable mind, stable everything. Long night moon. I'm not sure when that is, but I'm sure we're going to find out in a minute. Don't be, that's funny, because I heard they were trying to send me into a rhyme. And when I said, we're going to find out in a minute, I heard, don't be timid. Like that rabbit right there. Because they can be, they signify abundance and prosperity, fertility even. Because y'all know they replicate like no other. But at the same time, they're very finicky is what I hear. Or skittish, if you will. Right? They, you know, they always on alert, on high alert, and can be, and I get it, because, you know, if you've been preyed on, you gotta watch, you gotta have your head on the swivel, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, nah, you are now, I don't know, maybe you need to go from being the rabbit to the wolf in that 7 of Swords. You know what I'm saying? Just bring forth your animalistic, instinctive abilities. No fear, none whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Be in tune with yourself. I don't know. Because if you are, you would know exactly where you lie. You know what I'm saying? And when you know better, you do better. Right? Those of you that know. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, let me go on and get into this, because I know they can be kind of lengthy reading these. All right? We'll let me find them in the guidebook. We'll start with the headers, and then we'll move into the finishers, and then we'll finish up with the crystals. Okay? All right, you guys. So I feel like I'm being called to start with that void of course moon. So that's where we're going to start. Page 102, 103. Nothing will come of the situation. In the form of a void of course moon means, quote, nothing will come of this matter, end quote, or, quote, the situation will bear no fruit, end quote. This may or may not be good news, depending on what you are asking. For example, if you were worried about something, whatever it was, this card can be taken as a sign that there is nothing to worry about. However, if you're asking about a new project of any kind, including a new relationship, it's a sign to adjust your expectations or change things so you get a different outcome. That's exactly what I was trying to tell y'all. Remember, the cards can only predict what you are currently creating, and you can change that with your what? It says with your both behavior and beliefs, but it should say with both your behavior and beliefs. Okay. And when you're tuning to the moon, I like to look at these as affirmations, but you can use it however you see fit. It says, I trust in my highest good. I trust in my highest good. I love that. Additional meanings. The chances of something are diminishing. Something better may be around the corner. Believe that you will get what you need. Surrender to the divine. Take time out as she enters the next sign. The best thing you can do when you get this card is to chant the Sanskrit words, quote, Om Namo Narayani, which means be, end quote. All right, just be. All right, now moving on to it's time to take action. New Moon in Aries, pages 42 and 43. The flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons, and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there is a Jesus. Hold on. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there is something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go, and in parentheses they say, after all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, in parentheses, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for. What I say, will and determination, first of all. And then I said courage, which to me is the same as being brave, right? Facing your fears and doing anyway, especially when you are mentally conflicted or trying to self-sabotage and talk yourself out of it. You know what I mean? With that Seven of Swords energy. So, determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for. But the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Like I said, that Aries, that quick burst of energy, don't nut too fast now, okay? Treat people well as you charge towards your goals. And y'all, I need to clarify what I just said. I'm not just talking about sexually when I say don't nut too fast. I'm saying don't burn out too fast, okay? Like, speaking of that release, some of y'all may really need to practice semen retention, all right? For the males out there, even the females, you know what I'm saying? Because that's energy. Just that's really what it is. It's one of the most powerful forms of energy, by the way, especially if you are doing it consciously to where you are intending on manifesting. You understand what I'm saying? So be careful. Just be mindful is all I'm saying. Okay. All right. And then also don't give up too fast. If the doors aren't continually closing to where okay, this may not be the way I need to go, then don't give up. You understand? Don't quit before you even halfway there, or before you even start, really, is what they saying to somebody. Okay? Some of y'all, you got it in mind. You ain't bringing that download to the earth, to the physical. It's just still wandering out there in the ethers. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, make your dreams a reality. Like, it comes back to you tenfold, what I heard. Okay, when you're tuning to the moon, it says, don't even think about giving. What I just say, and I didn't even see this. I told you, don't even think about giving up. Additional meanings. Do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan. A new male is coming into your life. Okay, take it vice versa, you know what I mean? Take it out, but it's masculine energy is basically what they're saying. Okay, the teaching. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so the new moon in Aries is the first of the 12 or 13 new moons of the year. If you're committed to working with all the lunations, then the new moon in Aries is the right time to start. And drawing this card, no matter when you do it, signifies it's also the ideal time to start your moon work, such as setting intentions. I cannot make this stuff up. I love it. Moving on to the bottom of the deck, and I love this, all these 8s. 88, pages 88 and 89. It's Show the World the Real You, full moon in Aquarius. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold and progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship, you are being too aloof or detached. No, excuse me. It asks, in a relationship, are you being too aloof or detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Feelings, but also be prepared to move on. What have I been telling y'all? And they telling y'all to take action clearly. Anyways, additional meanings. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head, for sure, with all that air energy. It says, get into your heart. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. All right, you guys. So before we were rudely interrupted, I think it cut off at the additional meanings. I'm just going to go back through them, okay? Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. And then a situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. The teaching. Every full moon is a time to release and let go, but the addition of Aquarian energy to the mix triples that message. Aquarius is the opposite of clingy, and pulling this card at any time suggests either you need to let go or someone is thinking they are the ones who need to let go, perhaps of you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected, all right? And I'm telling y'all, it's a high vibe time to release now. I mean, that's really essentially what the full moon is all about, no matter what sign it is in. But they're sitting here telling you, as far as the AQUA, like, it's no coincidence that we got this as your, overall underall energy for the header. And we're talking about the last quarter moon in AQUA. You understand what I'm saying? So that vibe and that energy, bruh, that's still, it's a high vibe time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I pray you take heed, y'all. All right. So let me get to the finishers as far as the Queen of the Moon Oracle goes, and then I'll be back. All right. So I guess we'll go in the order that they came out in, which will begin with the number 13, the Wheel, Wax and Gibbous 4, page 42 and 43, or pages. All right. Decisions require action. You are in control of your own decisions in life. No one else's. Passion and will determine a great proportion of your success. You will persist. You possess free will, which means you should focus on yourself first and avoid placing your will over another's. And then the affirmation. I have the will to make the changes I need. I have the will to make the changes I need. Will feels like a very old-fashioned concept. In a modern world where it seems like everything is geared up to be as easy as possible or there is always someone else to blame, the idea of placing our personal will persistently into something seems quaint. When we decide we are going to change something in our lives, When we decide we are going to change something in our lives, let's say a particularly negative pattern or bad habit, breaking the old way we do things can be difficult. The change requires a concentration of our will. We may want the change, but it is our will that insists we stay on the path to that change. To be willful means we have the power of control over our own actions, and that will fires up the persistence we need to get what we want. Contrary to popular belief, in witchcraft traditions, practitioners do not interfere with another's free will. This means we do not cast spells upon people to influence their behavior. How do we get what we want instead? We cast on ourselves in line with our will, focusing carefully on what we would like in our lives instead. For example, instead of casting a spell to get back our ex-boyfriend who doesn't want us by influencing his will to love us again, we more ethically cast upon ourselves for our ideal partner. This way, we don't interfere with his free will, and if the ex is our ideal partner, he will return to us freely. If not, we have attracted someone new and better for us. Either way, win-win. To use our will productively, we should assess what we really want and make sure this is what we want to reach for. And the companion stone or metal is hematite. Okay. Moving on to 15, Wax and Gibbous 6, action. Page 46. The time has come to take action. Let go of your paralysis. Let go of your burdens, step by step. Affirmation. I am responsive and ready to take action. I am responsive and ready to take action. Sometimes we are afraid to move forward. This is natural. Change can be difficult, and if we have been hurt or have failed before, we are anxious about what may happen if we instigate change. Maybe we think it's easier and safer to just tread some water for a while. Instead of taking joyful action towards the things we truly desire, such as the writing of a book, undertaking study, accepting a new job, or seeking a better relationship, we balk, we freeze, we do not take the steps we could, and so we remain stagnant. We don't grow. This moon phase encourages us to embrace. Finally, with this group, let's see. Number 6, Waxing Crescent 4, Self-Love, pages 27 and 28. Radical self-love is necessary. Empowerment starts from the inside out. Do not compare yourself to others. Start your change with focus and love of self. The affirmation. Every day I bring radical self-love to body, mind, and spirit. Every day I bring radical self-love to body, mind, and spirit. Sometimes we feel we are not enough. Sometimes we are even told we are not enough by our own voice, the voices of others in our culture. Not smart enough, not pretty enough, not powerful enough, not talented enough, not good enough at what we choose to do, not ambitious enough, not experienced enough, not curvy enough, not thin enough, not glamorous enough, not porn star enough, not enough of a lady. And as a result, all of this makes us not love ourselves enough. Then there's the opposite, that we are too something. And too is in quotes. Too tall, too short, too fat, or too thin. Too wrinkly, too pimply, too old, too young, too quiet or too mouthy, too noticeable, too opinionated, too much trouble, too much full stop. Of us feel such self-loathing or dissatisfaction with the self. Please just stop. Put your blinkers on. Breathe. Be with yourself. Do rituals. Speak to the guy they throw at you, but then hug these untruths like a crying puppy and soothe the reasons they are there. Know that you are doing the best you can right now, that you are not your past, and you can soothe yourself, and most importantly, you can move on. That's in italics. You can move on. You can do it. Anyways, know that this comparison craziness is just a diversion from knowing yourself really well and discovering amazing, delicious aspects of yourself that are entirely satisfying. Focus on you, not others, and discover where you really might like change, if anywhere or anything, for your own personal benefit, or belief, really, not for some outward measure of enoughness. True power and happiness comes from the inside out, like an unfurling spiral. Woe is the person who relies on the opinions of others to gain happiness in self-measure. And this is italicized. Choose radical self-love. Choose you. Okay? The companion stone or metal is rose quartz. Ooh, my nose is itching, honey. All right, moving on to the bottom of the deck. Hold on. All right. Number 40, Long Night Moon, Darkness, pages 96 and 97. You are entering a time of introversion, a leaner time, or a time to turn inward to plan and strategize. It is time to do shadow work, which will bring big dividends later on. Release what no longer works for you. One of the earliest human fears is said to be a fear of the dark. We fear what we can't see, and we fear what may be hiding. In reality, the dark is as important as the light. In nature, there are many nocturnal animals that go about the business of living under the moon, not the sun. The darker times of the lunar and seasonal cycles signal a time to naturally turn inwards, to stay close to home, to look closely at ourselves, and to plan for the light. In the northern hemisphere, the long night moon usually occurred in December around the winter solstice. Okay, there you go. Told you we'd find out, right? This is when the nights are indeed long and the hours of the sunshine short. Say that 5 times fast. It's cold and people will begin to be snowed in. It is during these long nights we can begin to do our shadow work, undertaking the self-reflection needed to identify what isn't working for us and what might be causing us pain. This could be a bad habit, a destructive pattern, a recurring useless fear, or anything that holds us back from being the best we can be. Once we see these aspects of ourselves in the dark, we can simply decide whether they must go. We can decide to release them once and for all. Here in a minute. All right, you guys. So I guess I'm going to try to go in the order that I found them in the book, but we may have to skip around a little bit. I don't know. But anyways, so I guess technically beginning with rose quartz. Some of the information that I'm getting ready to read to you comes from different pages. So the first page is 31. Beautiful, potentially a 4 in that heart chakra. So rose quartz brings love into your home, improving relationships with those who are closest to you. This crystal is also known as a beauty stone, Several pieces of rose quartz added to your bath water can freshen a dull complexion, giving softer skin and a more fresh, youthful appearance. Okay, so moving on to page 59 is where the breakdown of the crystal or stone comes into play. Okay, so it is it's pink crystalline masses and rarely hexagonal crystals, astrologically associated with Taurus, Libra. It's good for the heart chakra. Healing qualities include magnifies creativity and imagination, good for writing, art, and music. Physically, it's good for complexion, youthful appearance, fertility, and the menstrual cycle. Good for the health of the adrenal glands, heart, blood, circulation, kidneys, and spleen. Helps general aches and pains, wrinkles, asthma, vertigo, coughs, flu, varicose veins, and burns, including sunburn. Balances sex drive and helps sexual frustration. Helps detoxing, which is what many of y'all I feel are doing or needing to do. Emotionally or spiritually, it's calming, good for forgiveness, love, romance, and relationships. Enhances female energy and qualities. Ooh-wee. Helps crisis, phobias, anger, stress, tension, fear, guilt, grief, inadequacy, jealousy, resentment, and the feeling of being emotionally wounded. Helps childhood experiences and emotions, like a bubble bath for the emotions, okay? All right. Moving on to, I guess, onyx, y'all, is technically the next one. And the information starts on page 29 for onyx. And it reads, for contentment, it says, Moonstone creates a happy home, so place moonstone crystals liberally around your spaces. Onyx also brings happiness to the home. All right, and then the main information comes from page 66. Powerful, y'all. A multicolored layered variety of chalcedony or chalcedony, however you want to pronounce it, may be black, gray, white, blue, brown, yellow, red, and orange. Astrologically associated with Leo, good for the base chakra. Healing qualities include good for decision making, brings luck and happiness in the home. Emotionally or physically, it's good for the bone marrow and feet. Emotionally or spiritually, it helps grief and lack of self-control. Helps you take charge of situations. Good for yin-yang balance. Contact with, quote, God, end quote, and connecting you to your roots. Okay? That's why it's great for that base chakra. All right. Woo. Moving on to hematite, which is next. Page 96. I'm sorry, y'all. I completely skipped rhodonite, but we'll do that next. But hematite, page 96. Occurs as masses, botryoidal, I don't know what that is. Forms rosettes, layered plates, and tabular and rhombohedral crystals. May be metallic, gray, or silver, black, or brick red brown. Okay? And astrologically associated with Aries, Aquarius, good for the base chakra. Healing qualities include bring strength, love, courage, and personal magnetism. Good for mental processes, thoughts, memory, dexterity, and working with numbers or maths. Physically, it's good for the spleen, blood, and vertebrae. It says place one piece at the top and one piece at the base of the spine. Helps anemia, backache, broken bones, and fractures. Blood clots, air, and travel sickness. Jet lag. Whew. Page 60. Pink or red tabular crystals and masses. Also found in green, yellow, and black. Usually with veined inclusions of manganese that produce black lines. Astrologically associated with Taurus. Great for the heart chakra. Healing qualities include good for mental balance, attention to detail, memory, and making music, y'all. Especially together with rhodochrosite. And y'all, I'm just saying, like, because this is hitting big with that mental, I told y'all with all that air energy, some of y'all are that's the detox part that you're needing to take care of, right? So all of these will be very viable for you if you want to use them. That's, free will, right? That's what we talked about with the will. Anyway, physically, it's good for the heart and bones, helps schizophrenia, myalgic encephalomyelitis, and somebody may be suffering from that because that's twice, right? Emphysema, arthritis, light sensitivity, and throat infections. Emotionally or spiritually, it's calming and good for yin-yang balance. That's twice. Actually, that's 3 times, I think. Unconditional spiritual love, self-esteem, and sensitivity. It grounds the feeling of love in the physical world. Helps anxiety, mental unrest, confusion, 21st century stress, whatever that's supposed to mean, and inconsistency. Man. Oh my God. And y'all don't necessarily have to go and purchase these stones or crystals. You can utilize, I mean, this is free. This is free right here. Like, essentially, you can screenshot, you can just picture, you know what I'm saying, in your mind's eye, the energy and vibe of whichever one you want to utilize, and ask for spirit to bring forth the healing qualities and properties of said crystal. Okay? All right. Oh my gosh, y'all, my nose is tripping. Oh, and I just keep hearing in the zone, out of the zone, whatever. Get in the zone. I'm already there, but man, oh man. Anyway, let's see here. I guess we'll get back to the cards and finish this on out. So these are the ones that I found that are consistent, you know, that I could find, should say, from these decks. And I think I'll start with the mixture decks. They're not so terribly long. But there wasn't specifically a rose quartz, but out of the quartz family, these are the ones that I felt would suffice. You know what I mean? And I know I have not read them at all, but I'm sure that the message will apply some way, somehow to whoever needs it. Okay. So we'll begin with girasol quartz, however you want to say that. It says, have you noticed that people and situations are reflecting your feelings or thoughts? What I tell y'all, when you look at people, especially people close to you, and you see stuff in them, whether you like it or not, it's generally a reflection of you, right? Anyway, pay attention to the messages these mirrors provide. Take stock of what work you need to do to improve your self-awareness and personal growth. All right, and with the girasol quartz, you may want to call upon Archangel Zachiel, or, you know, ask for assistance or utilize any of these affirmations, okay? Or this may be your angel, you know what I'm saying, who's protecting you and helping you at this time. I don't know. It says, I objectively observe myself and my interactions with others. I watch my words and actions from various perspectives. I work towards self-improvement at every opportunity. I notice the mirrors and projections without judgment or preconceptions. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we have relationship quartz. Are you ready to meet the love of your life or reignite your connection with your partner? Cultivate the loving relationships in your life. Change your mindset to think as, quote, we, end quote, rather than, quote, I, end quote, to attract or renew more love into your life. Okay? And with this energy or crystal, you may want to call upon Archangel Chamuel. And the affirmations you may want to use say, I attract healthy, harmonious relationships into my life. My colleagues, friends, and family respect me and accept me exactly as I am. It's wonderful to be liked and loved so much by such wonderful people. Okay? Beautiful. And then, moving on into Black Onyx, it says, are you trying to reach a goal and keep getting pulled off course? Maintain your focus. Identify and release distractions keeping you from moving forward. Visualize your future. Know that you can easily work through any issues that may arise. Success is yours. Didn't they tell you that in the I forget which one now. Oh, we went through so many in the finishers. But victory is yours. I'm hearing victory is mine. Victory is mine. Anyway, you may want to call on Archangel Michael, who will shoot any obstacle that's in your way. Will lead and guide you, show you the way, bring you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need. And it says, I am always safe and protected. My business is a great success and endures all economic cycles with ease. It is easy for me to remove obstacles from my path. I am able to handle challenges. All right? All right now. I pray y'all take heed. And then finally, rhodonite. That's probably why I ended up going in that order in the book, y'all. Because I didn't do that. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to go in page number order as it came up. But I skipped over this poor little rhodonite. And then, baby, is it wonderful. But I guess they wanted to say the best for last. I don't know. Anyway, it says, do you seek the divine in all your daily interactions? Are you in the process of healing after a loss? Allow your loved one to travel this sacred journey. Know that in many ways, they are always with you. Recognize the divine feminine within you. Be assured that the truth is revealed in the end. what I just say about that. And here you may want to use or call upon Mary Magdalene. And it says, I integrate spirituality into my everyday life. I have a connection with the divine. I allow my body, mind, and spirit the time and space to heal following loss. I bless those who have completed their time here and are now on a new journey. All right. And that's literally, or, you know what I'm saying, energetically, spiritually, whatever. Take it how it resonates. All right. So let's go on and get into this, because these can be a little lengthy. And beginning with, I guess, hematite, since that's the first one that's out here. It is the number 52, potentially being the number 7. Any of those numbers may be of importance to you. I get, you may have tiger spirit, animal totem, spirit guide, whatever. It's something with that spirit of the guru mother. I hear go-getter. Like, have that go-getter attitude. You know what I'm saying? Just get her done, basically. That's what I'm hearing. Lightning speed. Some of y'all, you know, I'm getting this both ways today. Anytime I get the lightning, as you see with that bolt of lightning in the background, that signifies changes to me. And it can be very rapid changes, because y'all know the speed of lightning, that's pretty darn fast, right? When lightning strikes, it's fast. So some of y'all things may be moving in that way for you, maybe changing in that way for you. On the flip side of that, for some of you, I'm getting that you may be trying to move too fast and you need to kind of slow down, right? I don't know, you take it how it applies, especially if you feel like you can't really go with the flow, or it's just so chaotic where you can't catch the wave. You know what I'm saying? To go with the flow. So it's something about that. All right. I'm even getting Ganesh. I don't even know why, but I'm getting like Ganesh vibes. So it's bringing me back to that Archangel Michael type of energy, to where obstacles will be cleared if you very much so utilize this, you know, if you want. Or if you need help or assistance, you can call in either one of the, you know, Ganesh or Archangel Michael, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, it's the energy of perseverance as well. Or even, goddess Durga, right? Okay. All right. It's something about, coming into union, mind, body, spirit as well. 'Cause that's always what I get generally with the triangle energy, the Trinity. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and see what they got for you from the guidebook with this page. I should say pages, because it's, like I said, they're quite lengthy. 225 through 227. We bring you the empowerment of spirit of the Guru Mother. Sometimes there is so much choice that we struggle to commit. It is often not an issue of unwillingness to make an effort, but concern that the choice might not be the right choice, and right is in air quotes. We might pray to the universe to be shown what to do according to a wisdom greater than our own. Although our free will is always in place, we are able to accept a task divinely given or reject it. The universe answers every prayer. In your heart, you have been asking for guidance to be shown what you need to do in a particular situation, or perhaps more generally in your life at this time. You want to know the best way forward, so you want to know the best way forward, so your actions are in alignment with heaven. In response, you have now become the spirit of the Guru Mother. This is ascension for many of you. Maturity, something like that is what I'm hearing. The spirit of the Guru Mother is the direct, focused, and clear task given to you by the fiercely compassionate divine feminine. The Guru Mother is the unconditionally loving guide who will protect your soul, keeping you on the straight and narrow, spiritually speaking, and ensure that your efforts bring you the best spiritual results and not lead you off onto a distracting and ultimately unnecessary tangent. Although you can choose whether or not you wish to accept the task, know that it has been divinely bestowed upon you. How do you know which task this is? Look to your life. What's happening? What's possible for you to act upon? Where is your growth edge? What are you currently empowered to do? There's your task. Do what you can do and do it now. The Oracle also comes to you with this understanding. If the divine gives you a task, you can handle it. Even if you are going to need to grow, you have it within to complete it successfully. When the universe gives you an opportunity or life situation to work through, it is giving you a vote of confidence. The Divine Mother says to you, quote, "Here is my will. I'll empower you. Now go for it." End quote. If you want to take her advice, don't hesitate or doubt. Be as focused and forward-moving as if you were the spear that she had thrown with her almighty hand in flawless aim, heading straight towards the center of the target. When the oracle of the Spirit of the Guru Mother comes to you, you are being told your efforts have divine power behind them. The situations in your life you are willing to grapple with are going to resolve far more quickly and potently than you might have believed possible. The power of your own efforts, amplified with divine will, creates extraordinary movement. Distraction, procrastination, and hesitation shall not touch you. Your focus will be complete, and your task shall be attained. The trust you feel in yourself and the divine will increase because of this. You will gain more confidence in yourself. You'll become game for bigger and bolder challenges. The universe will be able to ask more of you and give you more because you shall be increasingly open to it. The risk you take at this time, with absolute intention, will bring you so much more than resolution of the task at hand. If you have been overwhelmed, confused, pulled in too many directions, and feeling as though you are trying to do everything and completing nothing, this oracle comes with guidance. The Spirit of the Guru Mother, if requested, will fly through your life and take you along with it for the ride. The unleashing of divine will shall clear away the inessentials and reveal to you what is important and what you need to do. If you are willing to surrender into this fierce grace, you will be honored by it. Go into your heart, and if you feel brave and bold enough, you are. Then complete the following healing process to invoke the Guru Mother's intervention. And that brought me back to who was it? Show the world the real you, the full moon in Aquarius, when they said get out of your head and go into your heart, right? That's what I'm being called back to. So here's the healing process. To integrate this guidance, you may like to say this invocation now. I call upon the crystal angel of hematite and goddess Durga, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing empowerment of the Spirit of the Guru Mother. May my actions be true, decisive, and pure. May I ground truth through my actions in the world. May the Spirit of the Guru Mother enter my life and direct my being into fearless, focused action. That's action again. They're telling you to take action. May all beings, through unconditional love and divine mercy, be blessed with the clear, conscious awareness of divine will. May they be empowered by it to act with fearlessness and joy. Through my own free will, so be it. If you wish to further integrate this guidance, hold the oracle card with the mandala image facing outwards from your solar plexus chakra over your abdominal area. Relax and breathe in and out several times. Then say aloud. And once again, y'all, you do not have to have this deck in order to do this. You can just envision the energy or the vibe of the card within your hands or at the areas of your chakras or your body that they're advising, okay? And it says, I choose of my own free will, through this and any lifetime, and through all layers of my entire being, to forgive myself for any hesitation, procrastination, misdirected action, or wasted time and energy. I choose now to surrender my will into the strength of the Divine Mother. May the Spirit of the Guru Mother guide my own will into uplifting, conscious, empowered action, driving me forward onto the path of my divine destiny for the greatest good. Through divine empowerment and unconditional love, so be it. And then it says, hold the oracle card flat between your palms so you can place your hands in prayer position with the oracle card between them. Bow your head and say, may divine love bring fearless focus and unconditional trust into the hearts of all beings, so that action, according to higher will, gains traction in the world. May all hearts be empowered with sacred, clear, passionate purpose, according to divine grace and in service to the divine feminine wisdom evolving through humanity at this time. So be it. And then finally it says you can finish your healing process with this affirmation said aloud 3 times. I am the Spirit of the Guru Mother. Divine will empowers my action in the world. I am the Spirit of the Guru Mother. Divine will empowers my action in the world. One more time for the divine. I am the Spirit of the Guru Mother. Divine will empowers my action in the world. All right. Okay, moving on. All right, moving on to rose quartz. This is the number 16, Angel Balthiel. Of course, this is heart healing. We already said the rose quartz is all about that love, right? And potentially having something to do with relationships, even if just with self. Like I said from the beginning, I feel like that may be the case for many of you. Within this, there is, I mean, look at that beautiful heart, just glowing, evolving, opening up, being vulnerable, allowing more love in despite the hurt, pain, heartache that you may have been through, like we've already discussed. Healing from that, right? Letting that go, releasing that so that you can allow love in. Because I'll be trying to tell y'all, love truly transforms all. It makes the world a better place. It really does. Especially that unconditional agape love, y'all. It's something totally different than what the romanticized Hollywood version is. You know what I'm saying? Because like the word says, the definition of it, unconditional, it has no bounds. You know, there's no... I just heard dictation. I'm not sure why I heard dictation, but there's no, and I wanted to say standard, but it's not, there's definitely a standard. The standard should be just that, unconditional. You know, like there's no reason. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. Like there's no excuse that you need to love, you know, you just do. I don't know. That's really what I'm feeling. Let's see here. Something about the number 6. And then of course 16 is potentially another 7. We just came off the 7 energy and the 52 of the Durga and goddess Durga and the hematite, right? This is just beautiful. I just see it like, I heard enveloping, but it's not like it's closing in. It's more of opening. Something is opening, like exploding potentially from your heart to be released to the world. Like show the world the real you, the loving you, the authentic, no holds bar you. You know what I'm saying? Something about that. Anyways, let's get on into it. Pages 85 through 88. We bring you the gift of heart healing. Over many lifetimes, your beautiful heart has loved and lost and loved again. You have learned how to feel joy, pain, suffering, and bliss. Your wise heart knows that life is filled with darkness and light, and it chooses to love the divine and participate in life anyway. You might worry that your heart has been stretched beyond its limit, become closed or broken, yet your heart is filled with divine grace, power, and of course, love. It can and will heal itself to love again, bigger, bolder, and braver than ever before. Do not doubt the healing power of your heart. There is power in your heart to heal through struggle into joy, and your heart has the gift of helping to heal others with love. I laughed because I heard as I was reading that, there is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. Anyway, do not doubt the healing power of your heart, honey. There is power in your heart to heal through struggle into joy, and your heart has the gift of helping to heal others with love. Telling y'all, love transforms all. Your open, kind heart helps soothe others, bringing comfort and reassurance to the world. Trust your heart and let it heal and guide you into the most beautiful and loving divine destiny waiting for you. Oh, my nose, y'all. The heart is an incredible phenomenon. It works on a physical level tirelessly to keep your body alive. It works spiritually to integrate the messages of the universal heart of the divine into your field, helping you receive guidance for your life journey. The heart is your wise guide, friend, and inspiration for growth. Recognizing your heart is capable of being broken and growing back stronger and more loving as it heals is an incredible accomplishment and a reminder of just how amazing you are and how truly powerful love can be. The heart also creates its own electrical field. Without saying a word, your heart speaks volumes. It can change the atmosphere in a room, the thoughts in someone's mind, the feelings in their body, and create a container into which spiritual grace and light can enter to work its own brilliant form of healing magic. There is a wisdom to the heart that cuts through the confusion of the mind. Like they've been telling y'all, get out of your mind and get into your heart, okay? When the heart knows something, it just knows, even if there is every reason logically why the truth should be otherwise. The heart works on an intuitive plane of insight rather than a logical plane of reasoning. It can sense the truth of a situation in an instant, Where the mind may be able to argue one side, then the exact opposite equally convincingly before ending up somewhat confused. The mind has great value and is a wonderful asset on the path, but if we allow it to run roughshod over the truths of the heart, we will miss out on so much beauty along our life journey, whilst taking a far longer time to get to where we need to be. With this oracle, you are given a layered message. Firstly, your heart is going through a healing. You are learning to open your heart and love yourself and the world in a new way. It will be a beautiful experience of greater closeness and connection to the divine. As your heart opens, there may be a clearing of old issues that have prevented it from opening more fully in the past. What I say, these issues, that's okay. So that makes sense. The enveloping that I was hearing was the past issues that may have filled your heart and caused it to close off, right? Previously. But now it's trying to burst open. It's time to allow it to burst open, to be more vulnerable, to let go of all of that stuff that caused it to envelop in the first place, and allow it to be more open and free to evolve and grow even bigger and stronger, as we're saying. Okay? All right. So as your heart opens, there may be a clearing of old issues that have prevented it from opening more fully in the past. These issues may be fear of abandonment, rejection, disappointment, or betrayal. There may be old issues to do with trust and feeling safe and being vulnerable that arise. Don't worry or believe you are, quote, going backwards, end quote, on your healing path. These are symptoms of heart healing, of letting go and shedding past pain. Even if grief or sadness arises, let it flow and be released. Your heart wants to be free to love, and it knows how to heal itself. Honor and support this process by expressing your feelings and loving yourself as unconditionally as you can. That's why that self-love came out too, by the way. Okay? In the finisher. Secondly, your heart is guiding you, leading you, even pushing you through the deeper desires you feel within. It is not foolish fancy speaking to you. It is the genuine guidance of your heart, encouraging your mind to recognize your true path in life. Listen to the feelings of your heart as you begin to understand the way it speaks to you. Then you can benefit from the divine wisdom it expresses, which is already within you, just waiting to be acknowledged. Finally, never doubt the power of your heart to heal even the most seemingly intractable, impossible situations. You must detach from the outcome. It will be for the greatest good, even if that doesn't match what you think would be best in the circumstances. But when you speak from your heart, divine healing happens according to love's wisdom. When you place your hand on your heart and speak simply to the universe, asking for healing on whatever issue is troubling you, you are using the power of your heart to trigger an outpouring of love from the universal heart. Ask for what you need, for what you want, according to your divine birthright. Know that your heart is your ally, your best friend, and your guiding light, with you for your entire life, shining the truth of unconditional divine love from within. Whenever you need reminding, you are special, you are worthy, and you are absolutely loved. I love that. Let's see here. I guess it's not too long. I'll go ahead and read to you the healing process. That's a lot, y'all. My heart is full. It says, to integrate this guidance, you may like to say this invocation now. I call upon the crystal angel of rose quartz and Archangel Bothiel, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine gift of heart healing now. Through divine mercy and unconditional love, may I come to know the full power, grace, beauty, and purity of my heart. Speak to my heart, Lord. Yeah. May my heart be completely healed and restored to its full innocence, strength, and beauty. May all beings know the love of the divine within them, bringing peace, comfort, and healing to every heart. Through divine compassion and my own free will, so be it. If you wish to further integrate this guidance, hold the oracle card with the mandala image facing inwards and resting at your heart chakra, which is the center of your chest, and rest and breathe in and out several times, and then say aloud, I choose of my own free will, through this and any lifetime, and through all layers of my entire being, to forgive and release any pain stored in my heart and any belief system associated with unresolved pain in my heart. I ask for this with divine mercy and compassion, so my heart may be free to love. May love shine true in my own heart and in the hearts of all beings. Through divine grace and unconditional love, so be it. Beautiful. And then it says, hold the oracle card flat between your palms so you can place your hands in prayer position with the oracle card between them. Bow your head and say aloud, may divine love fill the world. May all beings be happy and free. According to divine compassion, so be it. And then finally, you can finish your healing process with the following affirmation said aloud 3 times. And this is rather lengthy, y'all. I love my beautiful, shining, radiant heart. My heart guides me with wisdom and compassion. I listen to my heart with respect. I love my heart and I give thanks for this beautiful creation of divine love that lives within me. May peace fill my heart. May peace fill all hearts. I love my beautiful, shining, radiant heart. My heart guides me with wisdom and compassion. I listen to my heart with respect. I love my heart and I give thanks for this beautiful creation of divine love that lives within me. May peace fill my heart. May peace fill all hearts. And one more time for the divine. That's powerful. I paused it right at 11:22. That's powerful. Very, very powerful. I love my beautiful, shining, radiant heart. My heart guides me with wisdom and compassion. I listen to my heart with respect. I love my heart and I give thanks for this beautiful creation of divine love that lives within me. May peace fill my heart. May peace fill all hearts. Beautiful. Moving on. All right. Now moving into, look at here, y'all. 25. It's the mirror energy of 52 Goddess Durga in the hematite, but this is yet another 7. 777, powerful number of manifestation. And together they make the world energy. 21. Something is coming full circle to be complete. For you to begin anew. I'm trying to tell you. Man, oh man, that's powerful. And immediately I get protection. When I see this, and I told you I felt like Ganesh type vibes, that's exactly what's coming through here. Whew. And then look at them 3s down there. I ain't even pay attention to the numbers on the other cards. But for them 3s are drawing me in. You may start seeing 333. That's powerful guidance from your angels, ancestors, spirit squad. For sure. Especially for me. At least for me it is. Anyway. And I know I'm not alone. So let's see how many that is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Almost. Not quite 21. 20 may be another important number for you. I believe it's the same in the smaller. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, 20. And again, 20 and 20, that's, that's a 2 and 2. That's also a 4, right? Potentially. It's that heart chakra, man. Anyways, let's get on and see what the guidebook has, because again, y'all see already these are pretty lengthy. Pages 121 through 124, okay? I'm just overjoyed, my heart is so full. I keep saying that, but that's the best I can describe it. Anyways, Ascended Master Yogananda and Rhodonite. We bring you the blessing of empowered service. It is your time to assume your place in the world, at the table of the masters, who serve the loving hand of the divine. I told y'all going through some Ascended Master type ish. Anyway, some of you are. You have been asking for your purpose to be more clearly unveiled and manifested in the world. You have endured lessons of patience. You have learned that spiritual progress can be made even without results being immediately obvious. You have learned trust and a willingness to surrender your personal desires into a larger plan. We know that of which you are capable, and we now invite you to step into the next level of empowered service available to your soul in the service to the greater plan of the divine love unfolding. There are moments on the spiritual path that are something like a divine graduation. You may not realize you have been making much progress in the lead up to those moments. In fact, it is often the times when your mind tells you nothing much is happening that, at another level, you are making the greatest strides. Some of the most difficult and most spiritually empowering lessons you will master on the earth plane are those of endurance and continued effort in the absence of immediately perceivable results. What I tell y'all, something about perseverance. I think I said that in the hematite one, and this is the mirror reflective energy of that, right? Anyways. Some of the most difficult and most spiritually empowering lessons you will master on the earth plane are those of endurance and continued effort in the absence of immediately perceivable result. It may not seem very glamorous or radiant, but being able to labor for the light when you are in darkness is one of the most advanced lessons your soul can master. It defines you as a light that can be relied upon to shine where it is most needed, which of course in darkness, wait a minute, which is of course in darkness, with total faith and unconditional trust. This is the hallmark of a truly powerful soul with great compassion. You are willing to feel the light and yet not leave the darkness behind, but rather to stay and shine your light for as long as those who are meant to serve are in need. In the same way that once you have mastered your lessons in one class at school, you progress onto the next level of classes. In this earth school for the soul, once you have mastered a certain level of ability, you are given more spiritual opportunity and responsibility. That's that ascension process, y'all. Many of you are leveling up, okay? Boss up. It says, this as well as a new level of mastery to obtain, if you wish to continue to progress with your spiritual journey. As this happens, you are also gifted with the experience of being empowered to serve in new ways or at a new level of potency, wisdom, and effectiveness. What this looks like for each individual will vary. However, you can expect that your work will increase in quality and quantity, that your method of reaching people will either become very clear to you or evolve into a new expression which will better match your increased power. Otherwise, it may be like trying to shine the light of an entire electricity substation through a single globe, a waste of divine electricity and a possible recipe for destructive disaster too. Your dreams and opportunities shall grow to match the growth of your spirit. When the Oracle of Empowered Service comes to you, there are particular messages to hear from higher guidance at this time. Trust in your abilities. You do not have to compare or compete with any other. The people, places, and situations you are here to help this lifetime have been selected at a higher level long before you incarnated. By following your heart, taking soul-satisfying steps on your journey, and believing in yourself enough to take risks to allow for your growth to happen, you will fulfill your destiny. I love that. This oracle asks you to be open to the changes you feel are happening now, or soon will be, including the opening up of new opportunities, changes that need to happen within your work or your life to better honor who you are and what you are attempting to do through your life purpose. You are stepping up to a new level. Although you may experience that as an internal stepping up where you feel you are still doing your same work, but simply in a more potent and far-reaching way, it could also indicate external world changes you will need to make. It may be that you need to speak up, take charge, let go, move on, or all of these things, and then in parentheses they have, and more, to really allow the full power you have obtained through your spiritual work up until this point to be expressed lovingly in the world. That's why they keep bringing me back to the show the world the real you, the full moon in Aquarius, okay? It is in alignment with the divine plan that you do this. It will come together easily once you do what you need to do and trust. Finally, if you have been dreaming of something, wondering if a vocation or life path you fantasize about could translate into a real vocation, this oracle brings you confirmation that you will be given the opportunities to do so, empowered to manifest your passionate purpose, according to the loving plan of divine will unfolding. If you have been wondering if the situation at hand which is challenging you is something you really can handle, then this oracle comes as a confirmation. You will be empowered to obtain what you seek. Baby, come on in. And I got to read this healing process for this, honey. It says, to integrate this guidance, you may like to say this invocation now. I call upon the crystal angel of Rhodonite and ascended master Yogananda, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing blessing of empowered service. I feel so much gratitude in my heart for the opportunity to manifest my inner light in the outer world in service to the great plan of love. Thank you for all opportunities, responsibilities, and empowerments that enable me to work as part of the spiritual hierarchy honoring life on earth. Thank you for helping me step into my life purpose with confidence to act on the opportunities headed my way now. Through divine grace and my own free will, so be it. That's why y'all kept telling y'all my heart is so full of gratitude, honor, love, thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, if you wish to further integrate this guidance, hold the oracle card with the mandala image facing inwards at the heart chakra, which again is at the center of your chest. Relax and breathe in and out several times. Then say aloud, I choose of my own free will, through this and any lifetime, and through all layers of my entire being, to release any self-doubt, judgment, impatience, competitiveness, and fear relating to my ability to serve love in an empowered way. I accept the full empowerment for my service to love this lifetime. I accept the uniqueness of my service, that my divine purpose will unfold perfectly for me to use all my divine talents and gifts for the greatest good, through divine grace and unconditional love. So be it. Thank you. I received that. And it says, hold the oracle card flat between your palms so you can place your hands in prayer position with the oracle card between them. Bow your head and say, may the divine grant destiny with compassion. May those that can be empowered to serve, according to divine mercy and in service to the great divine plan of love unfolding. So be it. All right. And then finally, you can finish your healing process with this affirmation said aloud 3 times. I accept the full empowerment of my service to divine love this life. Ooh, hold on. Who ain't trying for me to say this? I accept the full empowerment of my service to divine love this lifetime. I am divinely empowered to serve in my own uniquely beautiful way. I accept the full empowerment of my service to divine love this lifetime. I am divinely empowered to serve in my own uniquely beautiful way. One more time for the divine. I accept the full empowerment of my service to divine love this lifetime. I am divinely empowered to serve in my own uniquely beautiful way. Love it and receive it. I pray you do as well, my beautiful souls. And y'all, that is what I have for you. I pray that it resonates. That is enough, ain't it? Anyway, if it does, you know what to do. For those of you who are new, that means comment your testimonies down below. You never know how this may help someone grow, but especially in including yourself, for real. Whether or not someone comes to mind, I pray that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so very much for doing so. If you want to join me for another episode, you can check the link in the description box. If none of this is what you're looking for, or you desire something else, there are plenty other playlists on my channel that you can check out. There are plenty of pick a cards, zodiac readings, general readings, what have you, okay? I pray you find what you're looking for. Regardless of any of that, I pray you have continued success in your life, that you allow love to transform all and to heal yourself, bringing that self-love, because that's really what it's about, okay? So within, so without. All right? Anyway, to the next one, y'all, please don't forget your love and light. It truly makes everything all right. Deuces.